Hey YouTube, what's going on? It is Neverender, and I'm bringing you another Fallout 4 video pertaining to a couple of different things. My new character that I'm playing through with, which actually calls back to my original character that I played the game with originally when the game first came out. I played the game as a sniper character, and I think Fallout 4 really makes it fun to play as a sniper type character. I am in my house in Sanctuary. Here's tip number one. I know that there's probably some other videos out there about this, but you know, your house, as well as many of the other houses in Sanctuary throughout the rest of the settlements in the world, if you find houses, the walls are blown out, the windows are gone, sometimes there's missing sections of interior walls, sometimes there's actually even missing sections of exterior walls, like you'll see here in the kitchen, you know, right there behind my refrigerator. Quite a bit of missing panels there in the back. And one of the ways that I have found really convenient way of fixing that problem here in Fallout is to actually just lay down floor tile. You can actually get a 2x2 large wooden floor tile down here, and then I use some small 1x's, 2 here and 2 here, connect those together. You get a little bit of a step up. It's kind of like a raised floor living area sort of thing, but this gives you a connectable surface to attach walls to. So I was able to attach walls in the way this house looks. Without those walls there, this entire wall, that corner of the house, is completely blown out. So this actually helps to sort of ensconce your main living quarters. But yeah, so that's where I am. I'm in Sanctuary. I've got a couple of lockers here. I'm running a very simplistic setup for this particular sniper build. I want to play as a lone wolf. I want to play as a sniper type. Using some mods that kind of help facilitate that, including a mod with campsite features like the tent. You can actually make that a single wide or a double wide. It's even got a lamp inside of it that you can it's got a lamp in here. Oh wait, no. Yeah, use, and you can actually toggle the lantern on and off on the inside. Very, whoops, no, I don't need to sleep right now, I just woke up. Turn the lantern back on. You know, more realistic looking fireplaces without the fire pit ring lanterns, and I have the option of building that, building all of those camping gear, and the facade walls, the cloth walls that you saw in my room there, have the ability to build all those with a cool mod. It's I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I'm really horrible at this. I can never remember the names of particular mods, but this one gives you the action to build campsite. And actually, I'm thinking about it here. The scrapyard decoration guide, wasteland survival number 4. No, that's not it. That's just a placeholder picture. Anyways, so I'm using some mods for my sniper type character. So let's take a look really quick at what I've got in terms of specials, special stats, and perks. Let's get right into that. Take a look at the perk chart. Here it is. Alright, so character is weak, very low strength, very low endurance. That's because in order to be a good sniper character, you need tons of points in your special stats up front in perception and agility. Okay? Intelligence is going to help later in the game because you're going to need some of the higher ranking intelligence abilities to continue to build better things, mod weapons to a better capacity, build better things in settlements. Charisma, I set my charisma level to 4, and I'm not 100% certain why I did that. I needed to cut it off at 3, so I think I wasted a point there that I probably should have tucked into either agility or luck. Luck is also going to be good way later in the game, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So the first thing that I'm going to go in order here by the special stats. So for starters, in strength, I have only pulled that up 3 points in strength, which opens up the Armorer perk. Now, by and large, this character is going to be playing the game from a distance. Most of my enemies are going to be very far off, and I'm hoping to avoid taking damage, which would not necessarily require you to have any armor at all. But the armor's got extra abilities beyond just protecting you from damage. It can be modified to three things primarily that I'll use in the armor. First off, my character will only be wearing leather lightweight armor for the game, or rather the light armor, not with the lightweight mod. The modifications will be shadowed from top to bottom, head to toe. All the armor pieces will be shadowed. That actually increases your ability to hide more effectively in dark areas, in shadows, at night, etc. The rest of the armor, the chest pieces and the leg pieces, will more than likely be deep pocketed once I unlock that ability, which will be rank 2 or rank 3. I think it's rank 3 mods. You get up to the point where you can use deep pocketing. That increases your carry capacity, which is rather handy for a character who's really going to have one home base that's going to be very far away. I'll talk a little bit in a second about how I'm not really going to be setting up a lot of supply chains here. A couple of different reasons for that. So shadowed armor, deep pocketed on the chest and on the legs, but the arms are not going to be deep pocketed. They're going to be stabilized, which is a perk that will actually allow you to use sniper weapons or scoped weapons or iron sights with greater increased efficiency, because your arms are stabilized completely, and it allows you to hold on target for a lot longer. But that is the only strength perk that we're going to use. I'm not going to use anything below level 3. I'm not going to use blacksmith or heavy gunner. I'm not going to be using heavy guns. I'm not going to be using melee weapons. Strong back, I'm going to take care of that pretty much by ensuring that all of my armor is deep pocketed, and also by using the Lone Wanderer perk, which is going to increase your carry capacity. So I don't need the strong back perk to, I don't need to be carrying 400 or 500 pounds worth of shit. Steady aim is for hip fire only. It will not affect your scoped views, so that's useless. Basher, it says get up close and personal. What kind of sniper is going to be getting up close and personal with anybody? And your last two here actually deal with melee damage and unarmed damage. Actually, they both deal with unarmed damage. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Pain Train actually is specifically about wearing power armor and being able to run into enemies and hurt them. I'm not even going to be wearing power armor with this build. I'm going to skip over perception because it's a big category. We'll go straight to endurance. Endurance is another category that I'm basically not putting any points into at all. You default all of these to level 1. I didn't put a single perk into endurance because I don't need any of these. First off, toughness. Again, my character is not really supposed to be getting hit at all. Second, lead belly, completely useless. Life giver is useless. Chem resistant, I don't use chems, so that's useless. Aqua boy, I don't really need to be, concerned about how much radiation I'm taking, because I'm not going to be taking it in a situation where I'm not going to be able to get rid of my radiation damage with right away. So that's not a problem. Rad resistant, same kind of thing. Actually, rad resistant isn't terrible. It's actually ghoulish. That is completely useless. And Fudge Muppet does a great video on the useless perks that are in this game. Ghoulish is up there. Yeah, everything else in here, none of it pertains to a sniper type character. Getting into charisma real quick, I will come back to perception, but getting into charisma, I was actually going to keep this really low because I really only need to get to level 3, get the Lone Wanderer perk. For some reason, I put an extra point in it, which gives me the ability to use the attack dog perk, which I'm also not going to use because I'm not going to be traveling with dog meat. Not because I'm choosing not to have a companion, but because I've run into too many situations where I'm trying to sneak through an area and dog meat can't walk the same path that I'm walking, so he runs off in another direction. He goes down a different corridor. He aggroes 10 enemies, and then they all barrel down on top of me in close quarters. That's not fun. Normally, I would be using local leader very, very early on, as in basically starting my character with a level 5 in Charisma, and then using the I'm Special book at the very beginning of the game on an additional Charisma point to immediately get me access to level 6 before I've even gained level 1 or level 2 in the game. This is because of supply lines, and I've always tried to set up every single settlement in the game, massive supply lines, everything's interconnected, and basically I have one community chest workshop that I can get into. I'm not doing that with this game. I'm more than likely not even going to set up supply lines. I'm probably not going to waste the extra 3 total points that I would need, 3 total perk points that I would need to even unlock local leader. I'm not going to bother with it for a couple of different reasons. 1, mods. 2, I just really don't need that much shit because I'm not going to be building massive settlements. You know, the big part of the reason that you need to connect all of your settlements together with supply lines is because you need all of those extra parts scattered throughout the wasteland in order to build massive settlements, and I'm not going to be doing that. I'm more than likely going to be taking this character and putting them in a centrally located hideout that is basically exclusive for me. Getting into intelligence, I did boo-boo here. I should have taken that 1 extra charisma point here that I didn't mean to put in charisma, and I should have put it here in intelligence to get me closer to Scrapper and Science. I'm not going to go any higher than that. Those are really the only 2 I'm going to use. Well, obviously Gun Nut. You have to have Gun Nut. You're going to need to max that out in order to unlock all of your mods, including suppressors and scopes, which are going to be crucial for any kind of a sniper character. Also, Science, you're going to need that in case you decide to switch over to energy weapons. Plasma sniper rifles are incredibly powerful in the game. Also, upgrading Gauss rifles later on in the game requires, at the very least, a level 1 science skill, so that's very important. Scrapper is going to be crucial to me as well because I'm not using local leader to establish supply lines, because I'm not going to have access to every single settlement's cache of supplies. I'm going to need to be able to scrap those supplies on my own. Things like screws, aluminum, copper, later on nuclear material and fiber optics, which are going to be very crucial in energy-based weaponry, and then, you know, even getting a massive bonus in salvage is going to help a lot as well. Now we're going to get into agility and perception at the same time. If you're playing as a sniper character, these are your 2 primary special point skills. This is where you're going to need to spend the majority of your points, and you need to spend a lot of your points right up front when you're creating your character. I started this character with its perception at level 8, and right at the very beginning of the game, you get the bobblehead. You get the perception bobblehead, which will automatically add another point. So that immediately brought me up to level 9. By the way, if you're looking for that bobblehead, it's in the Freedom Museum where you meet Preston Garvey right at the very beginning of the game. So by starting with my character at level 8 and immediately snagging that bobblehead and bumping that up to 9, you could even balance your points out a little bit more if you really want to do this. You could start your character at level 7, use the bobblehead to get to level 8, and also use the I'm Special book for an additional point. You could actually save yourself 1 more point that you could allocate somewhere else into your build. Just bear in mind, you know, that you're going to get a bonus perception point right at the very beginning of the game, so long as one of the first things you do is go meet Preston Garvey, which I find it difficult to not go meet Preston Garvey eventually or immediately, because that's a massive amount of experience points right in the very front of the game. It takes no time at all to get to like level 10. I've only been playing this character for 5, 6, 7 hours, and I'm already level 11, as of right now. So in the perception category, first and foremost, you're going to need riflemen, and you're going to need every single one of those. 20% more damage with your sniper with non-automatic rifles, 40% damage and 15% ignored armor, 60% damage and 20% ignored armor, 80% damage and 25% ignored armor, plus a chance of crippling a limb. And then by the time you get to level 46 and you put the 5th perk point into Rifleman, your non-automatic rifles will do double their base damage, they'll ignore 30% of a target's armor, and they'll have a higher chance of crippling limbs. I don't know if the head is considered a limb in the game. I think limb specifically refers to arms and legs, but that's actually very useful on characters with weak legs, like Deathclaws. Deathclaws actually have very weak legs. It's a good idea to try and take their legs out. Same thing with ghouls. Ghouls have very weak legs, and if you blow their legs off, it won't necessarily kill them, but they can't advance on you anymore. Their torsos will just flop around on the ground. Alright, so awareness is a joke. Don't use it. I need to put more points into Locksmith. I haven't gotten into that yet. Demolitions Expert, I am only going to use this perk if I find a weapon with a legendary explosive effect on the gun, okay? Because it will increase my explosive damage, and that's any kind of explosive damage. So yeah, it'll affect your grenades, it'll affect your landmines, but I'm not going to be using landmines or grenades as a sniper type character unless I use some landmines, to cover my 6 while I'm, taking out a massive encampment of raiders or something to that effect. So I'll only use that if I run across one of those weapons. If I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal. Night Person, I'm probably going to be using this because it adds some really cool effects later on. Up front, you get increases to intelligence and perception, +2, which increases in-game abilities between the hours of 6p and 6a. The second rank, you'll get night vision while you're sneaking, plus additional points to intelligence and perception. And you get the third rank in there at level 37, and you get 30 extra health at night. So that's actually kind of cool if you want to play, more nighttime. Here's the sniper one. You absolutely have to use this. First thing it's going to do is give you the ability to control your weapons and hold your breath longer when using full-size scopes. Non-automatic rifles will now have a chance of knocking down your targets. That's at level 2. And then at level 26, the third rank of this, you'll get a 25% accuracy boost in VATS. Now, I'm not relying exclusively on VATS, but in instances where I decide to use it, especially late in the game, that's going to be crucial. Penetrator is something that I'm considering using. It gives you the ability to shoot through light cover. You'll have a decrease in accuracy, you'll have a decrease in damage, but it gives you the opportunity of shooting people before they even see you, or when you're just tired of sitting there waiting for them to poke their head out. And later on in the game, getting that 10th and final level in perception is going to give me the ability to get concentrated fire. Basically, if I keep clicking on the head in VATS, it's going to increase 10% for the first rank, 15 for the second, and a total of 20% accuracy plus 20% damage on every single attack on the same body part when I'm using VATS. These all combine perfectly with most of the perks that you can get in the agility skill. So this is another place where I've dumped a lot of points up front early in the game. First and foremost, you're not using Gunslinger, you're not using Commando. Just like you're not using Big Leagues, you're not using Heavy Gunner, you're not using Blacksmith, you're not using Rooted, because the only type of weapon that you're going to be using for a build like this is a non-automatic weapon of some sort, and it has to be a rifle, not a pistol. Okay, so skip these entirely. Don't use them, because you can defend yourself, and I'll show you this here in a minute as well. You can defend yourself not just with your sniper rifle, but with some other kind of unique builds. Sneak is going to be crucial. You're going to need to max that out. That one's fairly obvious. Mr. Sandman, you're also going to want to max that out because it gives you a big bonus to damage with silenced weapons. 15% for the first rank, 30% for the second rank, and 50% damage boost for silenced weapons on sneak attacks. Okay, now your silenced weapons will continue to do a lot of damage, but you have to do a sneak attack with a silenced weapon to get the bonuses included in this, and that also ties in directly with Ninja. Ninja is going to give your ranged sneak attacks a damage boost. 2.5% on the first rank, 3% on your ranged sneak attacks on the second rank, and 3.5%. So you're doing 3.5% damage here, and if the weapon is also silenced, you're doing an additional 50% damage. So you can really see how a single shot, you know, you're taking Rifleman, which is giving you massive amounts of damage, all the way up to double base damage. You're taking Mr. Sandman, which is giving you up to 50% base damage, and then you're multiplying everything by 3.5 with your ninja skill when you're doing sneak attacks. So you can be an incredibly powerful shot with really just with those three. The last category in here is luck, and honestly, it's one I don't play with very often. I typically have a very low luck score. As you can see right now, it's only 2 stars in that. I'm probably going to pick up Scrounger. I may or I may not. I'm going to do another video here real quickly after this one, after I explain my loadout, and tell you why I may not use Scrounger as much. But Scrounger is going to help you find more ammunition. When you're playing as a sniper character, you're using bolt action rifles, or you're using plasma rifles or laser weapons, and they have more rare ammo, especially once you start upgrading your bolt action rifle and you start using 50 caliber ammo. 50 cal is hard to find. 308 isn't exactly easy to find, but it's a little bit more ubiquitous than say 50 caliber ammo. Plasma cylinders are very tricky to find, and the energy cells that you use, you can find those and bulk up on those early in the game and probably have a pretty decent amount to hold you through. But the Scrounger perk is going to help you find more ammunition, find even more ammunition, find even more ammunition, and there's a chance to gain ammo when firing the last round in your clip. I hate that. There is a chance to gain ammo when firing the last round in your magazine when you have the last ability there in Scrounger. So that's very helpful. Normally, I would not go any higher than level 2 in luck, but there is a series of perks in luck that could be very, very beneficial. First and foremost, I don't like Bloody Mess. Yeah, the damage bonus is nice, but watching enemies explode when you shoot them with a pipe rifle is super unrealistic, and I've never cared for that particular perk. I used it the very first time I played Fallout 3, and hand to God, I haven't used it since. I don't use the Mysterious Stranger because I don't want anyone else taking credit for my kill. Idiot Savant is just stupid. It's just one of those dumb kind of perks. Now, once you get up to level 6, there is a series of 4 perks. Better Criticals, Critical Banker, Grim Reaper Sprint, and 4-Leaf Clover. All 4 of these have to deal with VATS and criticals. Okay? Starting first with better criticals, this just increases the amount of damage that you get. 50% for the first rank, 100% for the second rank, and 2.5 times as much damage. That would be 150%. No, it wouldn't be 250%. I don't know. I don't do percentages, and I suck at math. Long short, your criticals are far more damaging now. Now imagine being in VATS and utilizing, your ninja skill, which is already putting a huge multiplier on there, and your Mr. Sandman skill, which is already putting a huge multiplier on all 5 ranks of Rifleman. Okay, and then you hit a critical that's doing 2.5 times as much damage. Yeah, I mean, that can, for the majority of hardcore enemies at the end of the game, that can be a freaking one-hit kill, alright? In addition to just doing better damage, you have Critical Banker. Critical Banker allows you to fill your critical meter and save that critical hit. Basically, it'll reset your critical meter, but you won't lose the critical hit. Then you can refill it again. In essence, with the first one, you can have 2 critical hits back to back, the one that you saved and the one that you earned. And every time that you put another level into it, you get 2 critical hits you can save, 3 that you can save. Banking a critical has a chance of saving an additional critical when you get to level 3. And then when you get to level 4, you can save a total of 4. Okay, so you've got the ability to fill that meter very quickly. You have the ability to save up to 4 of them, and every time you use one, you have the chance of getting one back. You're going to get tons of criticals, and with better criticals, you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage. That brings us into Grim Reaper Sprint. Anytime that you make a kill in VATS at first, you restore all your action points. That means you can continue using VATS. The second one is going to restore more action points, and the third one is going to restore 35% of your action, has a 35% chance of restoring all of your action points and has a chance of refilling your critical meter. So the third level of Grim Reaper Sprint, again, ties into VATS, ties into criticals. Imagine utilizing VATS, hitting that 35% chance, getting all your action points back, and refilling your critical meter, and then maxing out how many criticals you've banked, and then using 4 or 5 of those in a row and getting... I guess my neighbor has decided that he's going to use his weed eater right outside my bedroom window. That's cool. Sorry about the racket, guys. I'm almost done with this anyway, so it's not terrible. The last one then is so like I say, in Grim Reaper Sprint, especially once you get up to that third level, you're going to have massive ability to utilize the better criticals and critical banking. And then you get into 4-leaf clover. Basically, every time you make a hit in VATS, you got a chance of filling your critical meter, and then that chance just increases. Okay, you get 4-leaf clover maxed all the way out. You're level 48. Your luck is all the way up to level 9, and you've got an excellent chance of filling your critical meter every time you hit a target. Not kill, not destroy. Every time you hit any target in VATS, you have a chance of filling up that critical meter. So those 4 options right there make playing the game with VATS and criticals probably child's play, but definitely make you an incredibly powerful character. So that's basically what I'm doing with my sniper build character. Thank you for putting up with all that racket there for just a second. So I'm here in Sanctuary. I've got the new guy here. I did decide to do this video at night because I'm going to show you right what I got right over there next to the main house here in Sanctuary, and that's going to be in my next video. So guys, tune in for that. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and please feel free to check out anything else you see on my video. If you like what you're seeing, hit me with a subscribe. This is Neverender. I'll see you guys next time.